Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel again. All right. It was a great Friday. It was a great Friday again. The games were pretty interesting. They were better than I even expected. They were more fun than I expected. It was a good time. Fun games, fun games. Two really good college games that came on. And there's going to be college games that's coming on today, Saturday, at starting at 12. It's going to be fun. Some different ones coming on. But before we get into all that, before we start recapping the two games on Friday, and before we even get into some of the games that I think could be good, my name's again Isaiah Austin, and welcome back to the channel, the IDA Kings Video Production Channel. Right. The first game I watched two of them kind of at the same time. First one was Tulsa versus Oklahoma State. That game was pretty good. Tulsa was doing some great things defensively. They also did some good things, getting touchdowns, running the ball very, very well. Making different plays, putting Oklahoma State in bad positions in the game. So they did a good job. They had a backup quarterback playing, I think, the last two games, just like Oklahoma State had a backup quarterback too. I think their starting quarterback dealt with an injury, I think in the first game or so. But overall, yeah, like Tulsa did good stuff defensively. They ran the ball well. They forced Oklahoma State to only have 3 points at the half, which was really, really amazing. They forced them to get booed too. Oklahoma State forced them to get booed. Oklahoma State struggled a little bit, trying to come back, rally back. But it was a little too late. They tried. Their running back Fields had I think over 100 yards rushing, like 17 carries, stuff like that. He had like 6 receptions for almost 40 yards and stuff like that. So, he was doing his thing. He was doing his thing. Along with St. Flores didn't do terrible. He had a touchdown rushing. He had like 10 carries, almost 60 yards and stuff like that. But he wasn't too bad. But Tulsa just defensively did a lot of great things, and forced Oklahoma State into some bad situations and stuff like that. But that was a pretty solid game. Tulsa looks pretty solid so far. They have a first-year coach. They had like 3 different coaches in the last 4 years too. So, Tulsa looked better. They look solid. I ain't gonna lie. That was pretty crazy. I didn't know that they looked better than that. Oklahoma State's in trouble. Coach Gundy could be in trouble too. They were 0-9 in the Big 12 last season. They could have a rough year this year too in conference play. So, be careful of that. Hopefully, don't get fired. He's a great, legendary coach. But he might get fired. He might get let go. You never know. Might have a tough time. The other game that I watched was really, really good. I knew this game would be. I thought this game would be good, but it was even better than I thought. Right? It was even better. Iowa won by 38-28 against the Rutgers. Right? Rutgers. They beat them on the road. They beat them in Rutgers football stadium. Ground. It's hard to pronounce his name. I'll call him Mark. Sorry about that. He was accurate with the ball a little bit. He was definitely accurate. He missed some throws. But overall, he wasn't bad. Right? He ran the ball well too. He almost had 190 yards. Passing, but he did run the ball well. He had 2 touchdowns. Right? The running game was really good. As well, just the overall run game was good. Defensively, they had a rough start because the Rutgers came out on fire offensively. But Caden, he's a great return man. I realized that he started off with a kickoff return. They were up 7-0 off rip, right? Off rip to start the game. Kickoff return. Flat out amazing, right? And he almost had a punt return too. They almost got close. The Rutgers almost had a punt return. They could have got 3 points, but he didn't step out. And that led to still staying tied instead of them being up by 3 at half when it comes to Iowa being up against Rutgers. But the Rutgers offensively in the first half was really, really great. They were really fantastic, man. They were getting up and down the field. Even Iowa scored 21 points, did some good things offensively, in that first half, which is crazy, you know. But their defense, Iowa's defense, started getting back to what they do throughout history, what they get done under their head coach, who's a legend, that has the most wins in the Big Ten, um, past Woody Hayes. And so, yeah, their defense got better in that second half, forced the interception. Um, Forced interception. Their quarterback, the Rutgers quarterback, Athen, did a solid job. He was accurate throughout, especially in that first half. He was really accurate. But Iowa started clamping down a little bit, forced them into an interception, a key big interception that led to a touchdown that basically sealed the game. He had two rushing touchdowns. Um, but, you know, the run game for the Rutgers wasn't bad either. A guy named Ian Strong was great. He's an NFL receiver. He's a beast. He could catch the ball. He's aggressive with catching the ball and stuff like that. Duff, a guy named KJ Duff was really great. Too. He had 92 receiving yards, 7 receptions. So he was really good too. He was really, really good. But overall, man, the Rutgers gave up too many points, and Iowa started clamping down defensively. Iowa's a good football team. I've seen that even when they played against undefeated Iowa State, almost won that game. They could have been undefeated. I think they only lost by 3 against Iowa State. That's a real good football team. And I think the Rutgers are too overall. They're a good football team. They almost won this game, but they're a solid team too, right? So the Big Ten is tough, man. Those are two tough teams in that Big Ten. That's gonna give a lot of people a lot of issues. So that's a tough situation. You know what I mean? Tough games. They're great teams. But overall, man, those two games are what's going to lead up to how great Saturday's going to be. Saturday's going to be fun. Saturday's going to be amazing, man. There's going to be games, like Texas Tech versus Utah, right? Two top 25 teams that look like, to me so far, they look like college playoff type teams. Texas Tech put a lot of money into their roster, just like Ohio State did last season. But they look great. Their quarterback looks great. They look really good. Utah, though, they're back, right? Last year they had a slip up, but this year they're back under Kyle Whittingham. He's great, right? Head coach, great job. Utah's getting back to what they do. Their quarterback is amazing. That game is going to be a big game on Fox. Watch that game. That's going to be fun. Another game that could be good. Memphis is trying to get that upset at home on ABC against Arkansas. Arkansas looked good against Ole Miss. They were real good. Their quarterback looks real good. Did a good job passing and running. But Memphis, they're a solid team. They've been solid for some years, man, doing a lot of great things. So Memphis trying to get that upset, at home in Memphis. You also got Wisconsin versus Maryland. That could be a good matchup. Maryland's undefeated, right? Maryland's undefeated in Wisconsin. I know they had that bad loss to Alabama, but they're trying to get back. They're trying to get back going and get back and get back to the standard and play well as they can and hopefully beat Maryland. That's what they're trying to do. That game I think could be good. Syracuse and Clemson. That's a big game for Clemson, man. You don't want to go down 1-3. Be 1-3. Especially going about 0-2 in the conference. That would be bad. So they don't want to go there. I know they lost to Georgia Tech in a tight game. They lost a tight game against LSU. They got to find a way to beat Syracuse at home. They got to do it. But that could be solid. SMU versus TCU. SMU versus TCU. That could be another good game. SMU lost a real tough nail biter to Baylor. Okay, and TCU's undefeated. They blew out North Carolina, right? So that game could be fun. That game could be fun too. TCU looks real good. They look real good and real sound, right? Another big game. Another big game that's going to be coming on. Another one. Number 22 ranked Auburn, right? Who's undefeated, okay? Versus Oklahoma, who's undefeated too, right? That's a good team. Those are both good teams, man. Auburn looks way better than they did even last season. And Oklahoma, man, they coming back too. They're coming back too. So Hugh Freeze and Brett Venables are both doing great jobs as head coaches right now, leading their teams. That's going to be a fun game too. Tulane is undefeated. Tulane's going in to Ole Miss, who's ranked 13. That game could be good too. Ole Miss got to be careful. Tulane could come in just like how USF did against Florida, right? They could come in, on the road and beat Ole Miss. They can do that. So Ole Miss got to be careful. They had a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, um, you know, when I believe Darius Mensah was there. Now he's at Duke. Um, Tulane almost beat Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying? They almost beat Ole Miss. If I'm not mistaken, they almost beat Ole Miss. Right? I think that was yeah. I think under if it wasn't Mensah, it was a different quarterback, but Tulane almost beat Ole Miss. Fun game. So um, that's you gotta be careful. That could be a sneaky good game right there. Ole Miss got to be careful. I think that's gonna be another fun game. That's gonna be a great game. I really do believe that. Another great game that's gonna happen is gonna be Nebraska versus Michigan. Now, Michigan was on the road against Oklahoma before. They struggled. Bryce Underwood struggled. That defense was great. Nebraska's a great defense. They have a great quarterback in Dylan Raiola. Okay, he's a great quarterback. He's a fantastic quarterback. He was a freshman last year. He's a sophomore this year. He's special. He's a special QB. He's a special QB, and he could play with the best of them. And so their head coach is great too. He's a program builder, man. He builds everywhere, whether it was Temple or Baylor or wherever, man. He is really, really great. And that's going to be a fun game. Michigan got to be careful. You got to take what you learn from, Oklahoma and take it in Nebraska. Realize Nebraska can do the same thing. They can defend. They can really put Bryce Underwood in some bad situations. So they got to be careful. They got to try to open some things up, but also be careful, too, while doing it. Be very cautious. Take checkdowns, things like that. Try to run the ball, establish that run as best you can. So it's going to be a good one, right? It's going to be a good one, too. North Carolina versus UCF. Both teams are looking solid, right? North Carolina, after they got blown out by TCU week 1, they have gotten way better. They're starting to look better. They're starting to look really, really good. And Coach Bill Belichick's a legendary coach. He's showing it again, especially from the defensive standpoint. They're better. And, UCF, man, they always find a way to be good somehow, some way, man. They've always found a way to figure things out and be good. So that's a good team as well. They're undefeated. They're a good, solid team. That's going to be also fun. Another game I think could be sneaky good is NC State, who's undefeated 3-0, right, versus Duke, right? Mensah, man, is a great quarterback. They were in a close loss against Tulane. They caught back up, almost won. They were in a close game, with Illinois. Then they turned the ball over way too much. So NC State, they could give Duke some troubles if Duke turns the ball over. If Duke doesn't turn the ball over, they could be in this game and they have a chance to win for sure. They have a chance to win for sure. This afternoon. They could definitely do that. Another good game, I think, West Virginia and Kansas. Kansas is coming off a tough loss to Missouri, who's ranked now. Tough, good, hard-fought game from Kansas, but they lost to Missouri. They're coming off that. I think they can be good and be better against West Virginia. West Virginia came off that big win against Pittsburgh in the rivalry. So that's going to be a fun game, I think, man. I think there's going to be a real fun game, a really good, hard-fought, consistent battle down the stretch, man. That's going to be good. So I think that's going to be a good game, too. That's going to be a good game, too. South Carolina, versus number 23 ranked Missouri. I don't know if Sellers is going to play because of the concussion. He got knocked out of the game against Vanderbilt, which led to them getting blown out. Because, and that's probably a targeting call, so that player might not even be in the game for the first half. But yeah, they he got a concussion, so he might be out this upcoming game. But Missouri's a good team too, man. They're ranked. I told y'all they beat Kansas. They're a fantastic football team. So you gotta be careful of that. That's a great team. They could win that game against South Carolina if Sellers is not playing. If Sellers is not playing, South Carolina's gonna be in deep trouble anyway. Against Missouri, because that's a great team. Missouri is. Florida versus number 4 ranked Miami, right? Florida's been in some close games. They lost to USF in a close battle. They lost to LSU. They were a little close with them too, especially throughout most of the game. Um, they're playing against Miami, right? Miami is a great team. They look like a championship team right now. They look like a championship football team. So I'm pretty excited to see that game. I think that's going to be a battle in Florida, in Miami, Florida, South Florida. I think that's going to be a fun game. Right? I think it's going to be a magical game. I think there's going to be a lot of different things happening. If Florida don't turn the ball over like they did last week against LSU, they will be in this game even more. They will be in a real close battle, and they could win. They'll have a chance. They could win. But that's going to be a fun game too. Uh, Illinois and Indiana. Illinois is ranked 9. Indiana is ranked 19. Okay, and they're both undefeated. This is going to be a magical game right here. This is going to be a special game from two great coaches, who can coach with the best of them, and great players on both sides. Quarterback plays great, running game's great, the receivers are great. It's just a matchup made in heaven. This is something you want to see earlier in the year. This is a fun matchup, fun game, fun time. Both teams are ranked in that top 20. Just magical. This is gonna what you want to see, and I'm ready for it. I can't wait for it. The big rivalry of Washington versus Washington State. That's a big rivalry. Big rivalry. They hate each other, right? That's gonna be a fun game. Washington's 2-0, starting off real well. Washington State's 2-1. Great games coming on right here. That's it. The rivalry's there. They hate each other in state. So it's gonna be fun. That game we all know gonna be good. I really think that game gonna be good too. Arizona State and Baylor coming on later that night too. That's gonna be a good game. Both come have some losses. Baylor lost earlier to Auburn, tough game, and Arizona State, I believe, lost to Mississippi State, who's undefeated, 3-0. They're trying to bounce back and try to get a big win in Baylor. And while Baylor trying to step up and get another great win against Arizona State after losing week 1 to a real good Auburn team. So that's going to be a fun game too. BYU and East Carolina, that could be a sneaky game, right? It could be a sneaky game. BYU got to be careful because East Carolina almost beat NC State, who's undefeated, right? NC State, they almost beat NC State, okay? They were real close to beating NC State. So East Carolina could beat BYU. BYU got to be careful because they on upset alert. Got to be careful because they on upset alert. So that could be a solid game too, right? Be careful. This game's going to be good too. This one late at night in California is going to be fun. Michigan State versus number 25 ranked USC. USC is looking way better. Looking way better, right? They're looking really good. They came off a good win against Purdue, who looks better too. Purdue looks way better too. And so Michigan State is also looking great. Right now they're undefeated, having a big win against Boston College at home. They are fantastic. They're great. They're looking way better. Childs is looking great as a quarterback. So I'm pretty excited about that game. That's going to be a fun game. I can't wait to see that game late at night, on late Saturday night, going into Sunday. That's going to be fun. Another sneaky game that could be good, high-powered offense, before 12 a.m. hit, is Fresno State versus Hawaii. They both look better than they did last season. They're both starting off real great at 3-1. Pretty excited about that too, because though that game could be a high-scoring game, that game could be high-powering. They could be great. So I'm pretty excited about that too. I'm pretty excited about that game too. It could be fun. It could be situational, and it could be a good time. It could be a good time, man. I've seen them both play. They both look solid. They both look good. And I'm pretty excited about that. But I'm telling you, there's going to be games. I know a few teams are idle. Basically, they're not playing bye week. Ohio State and Penn State's included in that. I know Florida State has a big, they play against Kent State. They're a great team. Florida State, they look like a national championship type team too. I know Notre Dame, they're 0-2. They're still in the top 25. They need to win out to basically make the playoff if they want to do that. And they got a big game against, I believe, Purdue. So they need to win. But there's games that a lot of teams are going to be playing. It's a lot of different games coming on. I know Mississippi State, who's undefeated, is playing a game too. So there's a lot of different games. A lot of different teams are playing. A lot of different situations. A lot of things could happen this Saturday. And they could affect the season. It could affect college football forever, right? When it comes to the playoff, this season. So it's a lot of great games, right? These first few weeks have been amazing of college football. This week ain't gonna be no different. This week is gonna show that they're great, that there's gonna be great again. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty happy about it, and yeah, I can't wait for it. I hope y'all like the episode. I hope y'all love the channel. I hope y'all subscribe. I hope y'all like the channel. I hope y'all share, and hope you hit the bell notification too. It's gonna be a fun channel. It's gonna be a fun time. I appreciate y'all, man. Enjoy Saturday. Enjoy the full day of Saturday. Get to watch as much college football as y'all can. Y'all have a great one.